this thing starts circling the boat.
USO stands for Unidentified Submerged Object.
Is that like a UFO that goes underwater?
What the hell is that?
I don't know if it's man-made or not, but just to find something like this is mysterious.
The hair on the back of my neck is standing up.
Look at here, look at here, look at here, look at here.
We don't really know what it is, but we know it's not natural.
Diver 1, come back to the surface.
Diver 1, I'm telling you, this is not really cool down here, Homer.
Unidentified submerged objects have been reported by thousands of witnesses in the Triangle, with most describing glowing or metallic objects that are circular or oblong in shape. But far from being a mere curiosity, many experts believe USOs are behind the disappearances that have made the Bermuda Triangle so notorious. 1971, a supersonic Phantom II Air Force jet flown by Top Gun pilot Harry Romero vanishes off the coast of Florida. Additional Phantom IIs are scrambled to the area and spot a strange oblong object in the water where the jet disappeared. But by the time a nearby Coast Guard cutter arrives on scene, there is no sign of the object or the missing Phantom II. In 2016, veteran boat captain Tony Roberts witnessed a USO firsthand.
You must be Tony.
Yeah.
Captain Mo. Nice to meet you.
The event took place at Key Biscayne, near the western tip of the Bermuda Triangle. It's an area that's home to dozens of shipwrecks, dating back to the 1870s.
Oh my, that is some kind of a light, isn't it? Look at that.
How big is it?
The whole thing could be as big as 6 to 10 feet.
The whole thing, meaning the light?
The light, and it had, if you look at it, it had what could be a tail.
The pictures that I was looking at, it had a extended tail. It wasn't anything that I recognize as biologic. It's also nothing that I would recognize as mechanical. I couldn't explain what it was.
See, and it was like getting brighter and darker, brighter and darker.
Well, look, we got pictures. You got coordinates?
I do. I saved the coordinates because I thought it was the weirdest thing I had ever seen.
To hunt for evidence of unidentified submerged objects, the team will conduct a grid pattern search using a cutting-edge side-scan sonar. This device is capable of creating a detailed map of the ocean floor in 3 feet of water or 300.
Oh, here we go. 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. Look how far that goes down.
Me crisp,
14, 21, 22. It's just dropping straight off to the bottom.
So we were out there doing a sonar search. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Then all of a sudden, wham! We get a sharp drop off, goes all the way down.
28, 29, 30, 31, straight off. You want to turn around and take another look?
Yeah, definitely.
The team has discovered what appears to be a 30-foot deep hole or shaft in the ocean floor. Repeated passes from other angles indicate that it is approximately 45 feet long by 45 feet wide, with straight edges and a flat bottom.
I'm sorry, can you hear me, Homer?
I hear you loud and clear.
The water is shallow as could be. We're coming to the ledge now. Alright, so what we're looking at is a straight wall, up and down, copy? Alright, we're skimming down the wall. This ledge is pretty much straight up and down, copy?
I copy, straight up and down.
I don't know if it's man-made or not, but just to find something like this is pretty mysterious, you know, out in the middle of the ocean.
Kind of cut straight down and like somebody or something dug out on the inside.
Maybe some place to hide.
Big enough that you could hide a school bus.
What it looked like to me was, it looked like somebody actually cut out a big square hunk of planet. Who knows, it could be a project of some kind, a tunnel, a mine, but it's definitely not put there by nature. Nature doesn't do that.
Something made this, copy?
Diver 1, come back to the surface.
Diver 1, I'm telling you, this is not really cool down here, over. Downside, we're gonna videotape down here and see what we got later.
So we decided to put up a trail cam because it's the best way to see if anything's coming in and out of there.
But if you think of it, it's a great place to hide. Chuck, you good? Everything looks good to go. We are coming up, copy.
So I hear you're a marine biologist.
Yes, yeah, I've been teaching marine biology for 43 years.
What we'd like to do is learn a little bit more about bioluminescence to find out if it is possible for an organism to put off light and create the USOs that we've heard about. We're here investigating occurrences in the Bermuda Triangle. One of the big ones that we hear about regularly is USOs, unidentified submerged objects. And in particular, we understand that some of those objects glow.
Well, there is bioluminescence in the ocean. There's a lot of different creatures that can produce their own lights. For example, you see it in deep-sea anglerfish, you see it in comb jellies, you see it in flashlight fish, which can occur in some coral reef areas. So yeah, there's different organisms that produce lights.
So a flashlight fish, I mean, that sounds pretty interesting. How big do they get?
They're pretty small. They only get a few inches long.
So where in the water column are you most likely to see the creatures with the bioluminescent glow?
Well, you see it a lot in deep-sea animals. It starts to appear in the mesopelagic zone, the midwater. And actually, bioluminescence tends to increase. Once you start to see it, you tend to see more and more of it down to about 2,500 meters.
So one of our witnesses, he explained to us, he was out on his boat one evening, and he had noticed a light swimming around in circles around his boat. What could that possibly be?
Well, I don't know what he saw, but sometimes if it's small creatures, planktonic creatures that are producing bioluminescence.
Well, it was very interesting talking with you. We sure appreciate all your information.
All right, you're welcome.
I've seen a lot of bioluminescence in my life. I've swam in harbors that were full of it. I've seen it coming off the back of boats, going through it at night. It's beautiful.
Farah, you put any stock in the Bermuda Triangle stories?
Oh yeah, those stories are real, man. Believe it or not, they are real.
Bermuda. The Triangle Research and Investigation Group has traveled to this isolated island at the northern tip of the Bermuda Triangle to continue their investigation. They've identified 5 witnesses who reported unidentified submerged objects off the island's coast, and Mike and Chuck are on their way to interview one of them.
Well, I'd say about 7 months ago, me and my brother and my nephew went fishing. The water was nice and calm, but we happened to run into a bump, big bang, hit the bottom of the boat. Now, at first I thought I ran into a rock or something. I'd say about 30 seconds later, I seen a white object floating about 10 meters off the boat. It's a big, glowing, white type of looking object.
All right, you're saying big, glowing, and white.
Yes.
How big?
It's about 2.5 feet. 2.5 feet.
All right, so 2.5 feet to 3 feet. Gotcha.
Yeah. And it's coming closer to the boat. Let's say about 3 meters away from the boat. It dips down. I've never seen an object like this, you know what I mean?
9 a.m. The team has secured a local boat, and today they will search the USO hot zone 5 miles off the coast of Bermuda.
Here we go. Look at here, look at here, look at here, look at here. Wow, check this out, Mo. Look at that.
26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31.
Look how deep that went.
Sheer drop off. Oh yes, it went from 18 feet down to 50. Let me get set up and we'll drive back over it. But look, see, you can tell there's a hole underneath here.
The water's clear enough, you should be able to see it from the top.
Coming straight up the other side.
We come over the edge, bam. Bottom drops out. 90 degrees, hit the wall, comes back up. This looks like the exact same thing that we have in Florida.
All the depths seem to be right.
That's a coincidence.
Like the shaft off Key Biscayne, this hole is 45 feet wide and 45 feet long, but it lies in 18 feet of water.
Hey, Dave, check this out. Look at this, Diver 1. Look at that. This place looks just like the one in the Keys. And I don't think it's a coincidence.
Swimming to this shaft was very similar to the way we did it down in Florida. Peeked our head over the side, looked straight down, and followed the wall all the way to the bottom.
Here we go again. Elevator going down. The similarities from the last location that we dived like this, shallow water, comes over the top, goes from 15 feet to about 50. Straight down.
Copy, straight down.
I'm looking at Chuck, he's looking at me. We're getting a little spooked out. It just seemed man-made in a place where man wouldn't make it. It looked so familiar.
Chuck, I think it's time to get out of here, man. All right, let's go back up. Breaking the surface outside.
The Trig team has returned to their home base in Florida, and they've arranged for marine scientist Julie Chion to examine footage of the bizarre USO shafts.
All right, so we just got back from an investigation, and we found 2 different anomalies that are almost exactly the same. We've spent the last week doing these USO shaft investigations, and today I want to try to beat it to death with a little science. So we're going to meet with a marine scientist, show her some videos, have somebody look at it from a different perspective, if you will. We don't know what they are.
Okay.
But what we're running into is something that looks like this. It's 45 wide, 45 long, and then 30 foot deep, all the way down to the bottom.
Wow.
Does that make any sense to you?
Not just a random square like that. That shape is pretty distinctive. How far away is it from any landmass?
In the middle of nowhere. There's nothing around it.
It's very odd.
What I'm going to show you now is I'm going to show you the Florida shaft.
Okay, great. So you do have marine life in there, both animals and plants. But that's not unusual on either natural or man-made excavations. Yeah, the vertical walls are just, they're so up and down, it seems so intentional. And I can't totally rule out a natural formation, but it's very similar to the constructed areas I've seen.
If you were to make one of these holes, how would you actually make it? Would you use dynamite or some kind of heavy operated equipment?
What I've seen them do is use the heavy operator equipment, which would be more conducive to the straight vertical edges that you're seeing there.
Those flats that we're going on, they're so shallow that to get the barge on that flat, it would bottom out before we can even get on top of it.
No, that's a great point. I mean, you know, just getting the equipment out there to create something like this, you know, the challenges with that would be very difficult.
So one of Julie's statements was, to build a structure or a shaft like that, it would be a big construction project. That, to me, would be something that would cost a lot of money, and it would definitely be something that people would notice. But this is not natural.
I've never seen anything in nature like it.
We've got 2 different witnesses at 2 different locations that are reporting unidentified submerged objects. And then we have these. Do you think they have anything to do with each other?
Well, that's probably outside of my area of expertise, but when you come up with 2 objects that are shaped like this in the middle of nowhere with the same dimensions, with no reasonable explanation, it certainly begs the question of what is going on here.
You know, 1, 2 is a coincidence. 3, what do we call that?
An act of war.
You're no matter how you put it, this is an awesome find. We saw 2 different shafts. We have 2 different witnesses. We have pictures of a USO. We're searching out USO sightings and we're finding similarities in different parts of the world. Because there has to be some connection that relates right back to the Bermuda Triangle, something. Because it's not a coincidence.